Why, hello there. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 25, the holiday year-end special of the Long Comics Book Club, a bi-weekly podcast about long comics, also known as manga and graphic novels, but not bi-weekly for this special episode. My name is Shane, and I'm the older brother. I'm joined by Spence, the younger brother. Spence, happy holidays.
Happy holidays as well.
We are coming to you over the airwaves on December 27th. It's still 2025. If you're listening to this in 2026, hopefully the world didn't end. Hopefully you made it through another dropping of the ball that I
Yeah.
don't think this one was supposed to end the world, but
No,
I
don't
don't
think the
know.
Mayans predicted anything on this one.
We lose track of these things. So, a little bit of a different episode today because we are celebrating the first year of the podcast and of Vesperia Manga and Comics, located in 1935 West Broadway and VesperiaComics.com. It's a special 1 year anniversary, double
Woo-
anniversary.
Woohoo!
So what today's going to look like, a little bit different than usual. We're going to take the first part of this episode to talk about our first year experience on the podcast, what we've learned, some changes we've made over the course of the year, as well as some of the things that we want to do during our second year in 2026. We'll then also talk about Vesperia's first year, find out from Spence how the experience has been so far as a new store owner in this economy. And, and after that is going to be our year-end wrap-up as we give our top five long comics we've read as part of the book club this year. Because who doesn't love a good ranking? We are going to do our top five, maybe an honorable mention in there, but we're also going to put the full list, all 23 ranked for each of us, up on Instagram. So if you're curious about how all of the things fall on that list, go check it out and drop a follow while you're there. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, welcome to the book club. This is a great opportunity to listen and see what this conversation is all about. We started this podcast right after Spence started Vesperia Manga and Comics because I wanted to be able to be engaged in his business and share in this journey he set out on. It's also an opportunity for me to start a new hobby, one that I can share with Spence. And Spence, I'm wondering, do you actually remember that I wrote out goals for the podcast like a business proposal?
Now that you mention it, yes, I do remember you mentioning that. You sending me that. Cannot in the for life of me remember what anything about it said, but yes, I do recall you doing something like that.
Yeah, I was looking back through because I really wanted to be intentional when we started this podcast because I know that podcasts are the kind of things that lots of people start and stop, but I didn't want that to be the case. And so I wanted to go at this with intention. So I thought this might be interesting that the goals of the podcast to share. So in the first year, let's judge if we've hit our goals. So the
Let's.
goal, me personally, I want to expand my reading knowledge and understanding of the space Spence is working in and have a healthy non-tech hobby and gain a new skill set. I'd say mission
Yep,
accomplished.
yep. I think
Yeah,
you've read a whole lot even beyond what we've suggested for the books. You've read a whole lot more since then. So
it's true. I'm
yeah.
now into manga and graphic novels. I'm even currently reading a play because I saw
Ooh.
it on the shelves. It's called Kamlupa. It's by Kim Harvey. It's really interesting. And so I'm getting back into literature, which is a lot of fun. And I'm also
Yeah.
learning in terms of a new skill set. I'm learning lots about audio editing, which is cool. I'm not doing it in the most efficient way possible, but I'm
Yeah.
using it with the free
Cannot relate.
tools. Yeah, I'm using it with the free tools that I have available. So, um, but it was also to try and build up a relationship between this fun online podcast space as well as the physical store. And whether or not it's coincidence or not, the fact that the books we keep talking about keep selling out at the store, who's to
Who
say?
knows?
Maybe we're just sort of willing it into existence,
Yeah.
but
But
uh,
also, correlation doesn't equal causation. It might just be because I often pick popular stuff.
that's true. You're picking popular things. I guess so. That's a fair thing to say. Uh, but this has been a great year. What a cool thing to have really started out and to have stayed true to as well. The fact that we committed to doing bi-weekly and that we were only late once.
Yeah.
because I
And
moved and that was
yes,
really hard. And that was only by I think we had to move it like a week or 2 weeks. It wasn't even
I think we
that
just moved it
bad.
back a week,
Yeah.
I think.
But otherwise we've been able to hit it every 2 weeks. Really cool to have been able to do this on top of you owning a store, me having a full-time job, me managing a family. It's a lot. We have very busy lives at the moment,
Yes,
but
yes, we do.
putting time aside to do this has been really meaningful and a lot of fun. Super thankful for it as well. But that's me sort of gushing about how much fun I'm having doing this. And I want to also check in with you. How's it been doing a podcast? I can't imagine this is something you would have ever thought you would be doing at some point.
No, not really. Just kind of happened, you know. And I guess peek behind the curtain here. I do very little to this, other than like recording it and recommending stuff, and of course reading the books themselves. I basically don't do anything else, so I'm happy to put my little part in.
Hey, it's an invaluable part though. Yeah, certainly the part you contribute is that's how it's meant to be though. And that was part of the whole design was to not put a whole bunch of work onto you, but have something fun that
Yes.
we could do and chat about. And this has been super great. And I think part of what I really appreciated about this is that it's been awesome to have people listen and join in and check it out. But at the end of the day, the main thing for me was making sure to be able to connect with Spence, with you. So this has been really rewarding. And wow, what a year!
Mm.
What a sentimental situation we're diving ourselves into. So, looking then, when you were just mentioning the technical side of things behind the curtain, uh, man, there's already been some changes from when we started. I don't know if anyone noticed at some point. Spence got a better microphone,
A much better microphone,
much better
so
microphone. So that's made a big difference. That was
that's yeah.
a technical change that was much needed. I also improved mine with this handy little hat that I put over my microphone so that my P's and my B's don't spike the audio as much. They still do, which is super annoying, but it's not as bad. So I'll take it. But if it was really interesting also thinking about how much editing I used to have to do, the amount of awkward pauses that we had was much
Yep.
more egregious.
We've gotten better at talking, I guess.
We've gotten much more comfortable with this. I don't even know if you would have noticed, but you and I both used to do a lot more ums and uhs. And we still do them a fair amount, but I think it's just as you get more used to it, it's just getting more accustomed to not having those. But I'm sure as someone's listening to this, they're gonna still catch a bunch of them. But nevertheless, we're not professionals. We're doing our best over here, okay? Leave it be. But in terms of the actual podcast episodes, I think that we've gotten a little bit more structured as well. It used to be a lot more goosey loosey, a little bit
Yep.
all over the place. So trying
Yes,
to
that's
establish a little bit more of a structure, I think, has been really helpful. I really like the way that we did the last episode. We talked about the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. I thought that was a really good solid structure where I think we'll replicate that moving forward, where it's like making sure to establish characters and plot at the start for those that haven't actually read the content so they understand a little bit better what's going on. And then getting into all of our reactions, takeaways, as well as fun facts along the way from Spence. It's, I had a few, but usually you're usually the
yeah.
one that's throwing in all
Yes.
the info,
Yes.
uh,
About more behind the curtain stuff. Yeah, I'm the one who knows way more about the stuff than Shay does.
which
Which
tracks.
should
I
be
mean,
really obvious if you actually were yeah,
yeah,
listened to
seeing as
anything
you
we've
are the
done.
one that owns the store,
Yeah.
it would make logical sense that that would be the case. But it's always fun to do that in the first half, and then the second half, check it in with some random stuff. I
Mhm.
think we used to go really long on that part, but I like that we've really fleshed out more of our conversations around the actual manga or graphic novel, and so the ending part is usually just a nice little add-on to wrap things up. But yeah, that's our book club. If you haven't listened to it before, you get analysis, opinion, and facts along the way with lots of laughs and reflections as well. Ah, Any other thoughts about the way you've sort of felt on where you started versus where you are now?
We've kind of covered the biggest parts. I guess for me, the only really noticeable one for me is I do notice how much better I've gotten at speaking with stuff, and the audio one. Actually, I don't even notice that, but I'm sure you could find the exact episode where suddenly I sound way better. I can't actually remember which one it is, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll just have to look in our purchase history and be able to find it there. But I can absolutely, yeah, the way you've been able to articulate yourself and we're not speaking over each other as often. It's great. It's a fun thing to do and a good skill set to continue to build on as well. So then looking into year two, uh, with really feeling great about how things have been going so far, it's going to be, I think, essentially much the same, but starting to hone in on some of the things that we really enjoyed and that we tried out this year as well. So, for example, we had our first guest episode, which was a lot of fun talking about magic with regular Zach. You two went deep lore. So much knowledge dropped there, which was super cool to be able to listen and join in on. And so I could certainly see us having some more guests coming and joining in, mixing it up every once in a while. Whether that'll be part of the regular biweekly rotation or a special episode, we'll figure that out as we go. I also in year two, I think I want to suggest some books, not a lot. Maybe like
Okay.
one or two a year. I'm not committed to it often, but I think that'd be fun for me to say, hey, I want to bring this forward and see what kind of things I can find. But again, like one or two tops. Like I don't know about that one, but there's some potential there. When thinking about the books, I also think this is something that you touched on in the last episode, just that this year we did a lot of graphic novels from big heavy hitters, lots
Yeah.
of
Well,
big names.
that eventually by like the 7 month point, it was just like, okay, we're gonna make the entire year picking like 12 different the big 12 biggest names in comic writing. We'll just do those to 12,
Yeah, which
basically.
was great. Really cool to be able to see all those
Yeah.
big names. Also, acknowledging all of the big names in graphic novels are white men.
Yes.
That is what we learned. So,
And at least the mangas were all, well, mostly Japanese men, but some Japanese women in there.
yeah, we had at least a mix, but yeah, manga, because of the nature of manga, is always going to be Japanese. I
Yeah.
can't imagine that there's much cultural diversity in manga writing beyond
No.
Japanese. But yeah,
We could find
graphic
some Korean.
novels.
We could find some Korean. We could do some Korean ones if we really wanted to. But
Ooh, I would love that. Yeah,
all right,
do
cool.
A Korean manga. Are those manhwas?
Manhwa, yeah,
Manhwa. Oh, cool. Yeah, maybe we'll check out a manhwa at one point. Whoa, really change. I don't want to have to change the name though. We're gonna still call it Long Comics,
yeah.
graphic novels, manga, some maybe manhwa. But yeah, realizing that a lot of white male POVs, and so this year trying to get in a little bit more diversity where we can find it and authorship, which I think we'll be able to find, understanding still that certainly this is a white male dominated space. Just that's the way that a lot of our culture in the West has been established, but finding those spaces where we can explore it further will be great. Also thinking about other things I want to do. This is one I'm pretty hyped on. I want to try two theme months.
Okay.
So in October, I want to do a horror theme. I
Okay.
think
Well, I
that
think I've
we
already promised you that I would hit you with a second Junji Ito. So,
there you go. So
and
when
then I
October
can
rolls
definitely
around,
find a graphic novel, a horror graphic novel, no problem.
I'm sure. And if any, hey, maybe we'll even throw in a third one in
Oh.
there just for fun. But yeah, I think in October it'd be fun to try out some theme stuff. I was also wondering in the spring maybe we could do because you were noticing that we hadn't done any romance, but romance,
Yeah. Yeah.
romance.
February romance as well.
Yeah, maybe February, April, or May, sometime in the spring. Maybe we can have a springtime
Oh,
romance
that
theme.
February, because that's the Valentine's
I
Day is
guess
in February.
Valentine's. That's true. Okay. But yeah, maybe in February we can do a little bit of a romance theme. Have a couple of romance themed graphic novels, mangas in there. That could be a fun one.
Yeah,
But
graphic novels are going to be the harder one of that because like manga, not even a question, easy. Graphic
easy,
novels, there
easy
just
breezy.
are not that many like well-regarded romance graphic novels, and like
Hey.
I don't want to do an Archie comic, man.
I see how it is. That's hey, okay. Well, maybe that'll be my chance to do some research and see who is going out on a limb putting together a romance graphic novel. We'll see, but could be a fun
How about
idea.
Archie versus Predator? That's close enough to romance, right?
Close enough to a romance novel. Yikes. Maybe. Well, maybe that one could go somewhere else. But what about you for year two? Is there anything that you're hoping to mix up or try out this year?
Yeah, because the other one I think might be interesting is doing a second. We kind of did that with Magic, but doing the second volume of some
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah, they go back to talk about it a little bit further.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that as being something cool as well. I like
yeah,
the idea of having a little bit of mixing it up sometimes. Maybe having stuff like this episode where it's a little bit of a special
yeah.
change it up. Now that I'm finding him, I don't want to commit to do. I mean, props to anyone who can do weekly podcasts. Absolutely not. I do not have that capacity. But I could see adding in some extra ones like this one every once in a while, including maybe some callback ones. In fact, I have something on that later towards the end of this episode, but you'll have to stick around to find out
Ooh,
what I'm referring to. But of course, it's not
don't
just
touch
the
that
one.
dial.
Yeah, of course, it's not just the 1 year anniversary of the book club, but Vesperia, 1 year of being open. So
Yeah,
how is it owning a store a year later?
it's pretty crazy. It's definitely one of those things where like, yeah, it's put a lot of work into it, but I'm glad I did it. And let's hope the next year is even better.
Hmm. Because you're certainly, I know this year a big part of it was like establishing yourself in the space, getting your name out there,
Yes. Yes.
which I think you can feel pretty comfortable is something that's happened now. You have regulars now.
Yes. But also
Uh,
it's something we 100% still need to keep doing. Like, I guess for to give a little background for anyone that doesn't know Vancouver right now, Broadway, the street we are on is currently having a SkyTrain getting put in, so there's a massive hole in front of the store. So do what we would do once that hole is finally gone, which will probably disappear this year. So that's the big thing,
allegedly.
allegedly. The line's
Allegedly.
not supposed to open until 2027 at best, so but the hole in front needs to go.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that yeah, you've been hiding behind massive construction this whole time with only a thin street to reach you, but
Yeah. And like
nevertheless.
the major street to the west you can't even cross on like on the like Broadway and Arbutus is like a big major cross street
Mhm.
and completely impossible. Cannot be crossed by pedestrians right now.
Yeah, but if you're curious and you want to see a giant construction hole, go check out 1935 West Broadway. And while you're
Yeah.
there, like go into the shop, go
I don't
say,
know. If you
go
got
say
time.
hi. Yeah, make time. Go visit Spence. But how do you feel about the year ahead? Is there anything you're gonna mix up with the store, or sort of keep on keeping on? Do you have any big plans or events that you want to try and have happen?
Definitely just to kind of keep on keeping on. Like any big changes up, I would have just already done by now, kind of thing. Um,
Hmm.
no need to wait till the new year. Hopefully we can get another more signings and stuff because Adam Kubert was amazing this year. That was definitely the highlight
Hmm.
of the store. So would love to do another thing like that. Might have aimed way too high right out of the gate, starting with Adam Kubert, but hey, we'd be happy to have anyone come in.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you also had, I'm trying to think,
Ming
Ming
Chen.
Chen,
Yep.
as well as you also had a number of local artists
Yes.
come as well. So there's certainly potential there. Hey,
Yeah.
and I mean, hopefully, as the name keeps getting around and people hear about those experiences,
Yeah.
keeps on
Yeah.
going further. But
Yeah.
we'll have
Andy,
to,
talk to your brother.
what do you, who,
Adam Kubert's brother is Andy Kubert, and they're both like very well regarded comic book artists.
oh. There you go. Wait, were you talking to Andy? Does Andy listen? Andy,
I
hello.
would highly, almost certainly not, but hey, if he is,
I wasn't sure if you were addressing him.
yeah.
God, I was confused for a moment. Oh man. Well, we'll have to check in after a year too, see how things are going, and talk about any other exciting things that were highlights that we can look back on, as well as reminisce what it used to look like when the hole was there. Because hopefully
Mm,
by this time next year it'll be gone.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But now, moving into the moment that you've all been waiting for, it is time for a year-end review because we've read 23 long comics this year, and every long comic we've had something to talk about. And I would encourage you to take a look at our episode list, try reading one of the books, and then listen to get our thoughts as well. And if you're so inclined, jump onto a social channel. Share your thoughts because the book club is meant to be a conversation. And so hopefully we can have more of those opportunities during the upcoming year and hear more from our wonderful listeners. So we're again just going to lock in on the top five, but with an
Yeah. Well,
honorable mention if you have one.
I don't know. Also, what did you put number 23? Out of curiosity.
You want to start at the bottom and
I just
work it.
wanted to because I feel actually this is barely even because like one of them just like barely I put Elspeth Untold Stories at the bottom because like it barely even
Hmm,
counts as a
that's fair. Elspeth for me was actually number 20.
oh wow.
I really enjoy, I mean, to be fair, it's still in my bottom five, but
But
I
that was the
really
other
enjoyed
thing.
the art of Elspeth. I thought the art was really exceptional, and I liked that it was taking some risks. So I appreciated it for that.
Yeah. Like about that like being in the bottom five though. It's like they were all pretty good. I don't think I didn't despise anything we read, but which I guess basically part of the rules is after I kind of supposed to have read them all beforehand. I've read them all beforehand to like I have an idea. So
Yeah, true.
even the bottom list, there was stuff I still enjoyed.
Mhm. That's the main thing. I mean, that is part of it as well, is that there's something that's valuable about everything that we read this year. I think that's just sort of true of any kind of media, like even the bad stuff. I mean, you know more than anyone that
Yes.
there's a
Well,
lot of value that can be gained out of engaging with bad
oh
content as
yes.
well.
Honestly, I think that is possibly the number one thing I would recommend for anyone who wants to get more into something is make go out of your way to find the bad versions of it because you will get you it will completely change your perspective on what you think of like and what you think of the good stuff, and you will learn a lot from it. I unironically, Birdemic is the movie that's changed my life the most.
And yeah, for those, I mean, this is an audio podcast. You can't see, but Spence fully said that with a straight face. So he is being
Yeah,
honest.
because it's 100% honest. Birdemic is the most influential movie I've ever watched. That movie changed, like, legitimately changed my life because of how
Wow.
horrendously bad it is and just how fascinating, like, something that bad, like, you can't watch something that bad and not take away so much and learn so much from it.
Hmm. Wow. Thanks, Birdemic.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, who knew? But then, yeah. So what was your bottom was Elspeth.
Okay, well,
My
yeah,
again,
also,
well,
this is inspired. We changed, going back to what we said, maybe I need to pick something really bad at one point next year.
yeah, that made me a little nervous. But
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
maybe, hey, no, I mean, why not? Why not try out
Yeah,
something terrible just to mix it up? Hey, I mean, that's part of
yeah.
what this is giving us stuff to talk about. So if it's really not great, that's okay too. No, at the bottom, I actually had Kagurabachi. Um,
Okay, yeah, that was my 22.
oh, there you go.
Yeah,
So
because
I know
neither of
that
us really liked that one.
that'll inflame any of the Kagurabachi fans. I'm not going to spend more time talking about why we don't like it. Go listen
Yeah,
to that episode and come up with arguments against us. We had
yeah.
one guy go off in YouTube comments about it, which is great. But I still stand by our ground that it's not a good volume one. Maybe it gets better later. It's not good in
No.
volume one. But coming back to the main thing, we're going to do some counting down, going back and forth. Again, there isn't any specific criteria, I think, for either of us for what we have in our top five. It's just sort of what we enjoyed the most out of what
Yeah,
we read. Or at least that was the case for me. I assume the same for you.
yeah, yeah. I didn't really just kind of put them in my. enjoyment to read, basically, like ignoring historical meaning behind any of them, even though a bunch of the top ones for me actually are hugely historic. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, whether they, I mean, that's also often if they have cultural impact, that's why they're good. They're
yeah,
good and therefore. But yeah, I think that's the same for me as well. It's what did I enjoy? It could always change depending on on the day, but I don't know. It's always fun to try and put something like this
yeah,
together.
yeah.
So
If we weren't so audio based, we might like do the tier list thing. People love that these days.
yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm gonna probably throw together some reels out of this. Uh, but let's jump into it. Top five, 2025, breaking it down. So to start off, I just want to start with an honorable mention on my side, which is going to be Superman Red Sun. I
Okay. Well, I'll just say that
almost,
that one is in my top five.
there you go. I almost put Superman Red Sun into my top five. It's right on the cusp there.
Yeah.
It was last minute wavering, but we'll hold space for that one if it's in your top five to talk more about
Yeah, because
that. And
the two ones I had that I thought were sure were going to be in the top five until I actually did it were Witch Hat Italia and Absolute Batman.
no, you're spoiling stuff.
I know, but
You're jumping ahead.
you said you said you wanted honorable mentions. So those are my two honorable mentions.
Oh God. Okay, I thought you said they were in your top
No, I
five.
said so those are the two that I thought like when I was making my list initially, I thought for sure those two were going to be in the top five, but they came in at six and seven.
Oh, gasp. Which had an absolute Batman. Spence's honorable mentions. Okay. Well, now I'm curious. Spence, kick us off.
My number five was Welcome Back, Frank, which I'm going to assume is not in your top five because I know you didn't
Oh, I
enjoy
was
it as
like,
much as
what are
I
you
did.
talking about? You're talking about Punisher.
Punisher, Welcome Back, Frank. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Tell me about why that's number five for you.
Well, it's because I think I meant like Garth Ennis, man. He just hits that perfect like when Garth Ennis is being held back just a little bit, he hits that perfect level of just like complete insanity that is just so fascinating, so great to read.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I am sorry. Punisher is my number 22.
Wow. Okay. I
I
thought for sure my number three was going to be the biggest difference in popularity between the two of us, but
I
no.
don't think this could be further. Yeah.
Nope. I don't think it's possible.
Interesting.
It's don't think it's possible. Nope.
There you go. I think what's tricky about uh Punisher for me and what a lot of it is I don't always remember content that I consume super well. I can't tell you almost anything about Punisher. I remember a few things, but a lot of it just didn't stick with me. So I mean, certainly I think a part of it then for me is recency bias, but
That might be part of
uh
it.
I
Well, no,
I
I think you didn't really like this one. You didn't really like you. This wasn't going to be in your top five anyway. But
I was gonna say I know that from that episode it
yeah,
also wasn't my favorite at
you
the
were not
time either.
you were not a fan of Welcome Back, Frank. But I still love it.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's good to have that
But when
difference of
we
opinion
inevitably
as
do
well.
Preacher, it'll be very interesting to see what you think of a different Garth Ennis.
There you go. Well, that's a what a fun way to start this off
Yeah,
with
controversy,
extreme
man.
difference. Yeah, start off with the extreme difference. So then, my number five is actually Goodbye Airy, the first book
Okay.
we read.
Yeah, that was my
Uh,
number 12. So I also I liked it a lot, but like
yeah. I mean, so maybe for me it's because it's biased because it was our first book club book, but it does hold a special place for sure. I think the way that it caught me so off guard and just that it really made me realize the potential that we had
yeah,
here and like what manga is able to do when it comes to storytelling is something I hadn't seen before or remembered seeing before. And so
yeah,
when I was just talking about my ability to remember, content isn't always great. I remember a lot of Goodbye Aries still because it's
yeah.
just so memorable and the ending to Goodbye Airy is probably one of my favorite endings of all
Yeah.
time. It's just unreal. It's
Uh, uh,
so good.
yeah, and like as a book club book, Goodbye Aries is probably the best one we could have like our best example because it is the most interpretive story we've done. It's how we
Mhm.
started, and we still never quite beat it on like the question of like what can you take out of this story? Nothing has come anywhere close to that one.
That's true in terms of actually like interpretation of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great book club book. Love Goodbye Harry. That's my number five. Moving to your number four.
My number four is actually Dragon Ball. Yeah, the first volume of Dragon Ball. It's just the one that, like, reading it back, I think I was the most surprised by how much I enjoy reading it again. Like, it's just such a great, like, it has its issues, and we went over those in the show, but like, you can really tell why it inspired so much. Like, it's so good. Like, it's just such a good, both as like an adventure story, and then also going at like this. Just it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make sure to always give you space to talk about it a little bit first. I had Dragon Ball at my number seven. I also was
Okay.
right there. I was like, I want to mention Dragon Ball because for sure it's so close to my top five. It was also in there for a little while.
Yeah.
Everything you said. Again, I think what's fun is that all these, it's sort of like go back, listen to the episode, understand why
Yeah.
we loved it so much. But wow, does it ever hold up? I'd say that,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think X-Men is going to be in your top five, but
No. That one's
uh,
like number nine for me.
yeah, it's my number 10. But I think that Dragon Ball and X-Men are two perfect examples of like, this is older content, but it still holds up
Yeah.
super well.
Yeah. And I guess, like, spoilers, like when I was mentioning doing a second one, I was 100% thinking, dude, the next one of Dragon Ball.
Oh, yes. Heck, I
Like,
would, and that's one that I think I said I would want to keep reading Dragon Ball
yeah.
or watching Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
loved Dragon Ball. That's a great option. That's a good choice for your number four. My number four is one that you just mentioned that you thought would be in your top five. I actually have Absolute Batman as my number four.
Oh, yeah.
This one, it was the one that I was wavering between this and Red Sun Superman, but there's some sort of primal part of my brain that's like, this make me like smashy go boom boom. Like it's just so bombastic. It's so
Yeah.
loud. It's so bold. It's just I'd say it's one of the best page turners that we read. It's just like, so exciting.
Yeah.
It's just like a movie in graphic novel form. And I love that it's both accountable to the Batman that we know, but it also absolutely reinvents it in a really
Yeah.
cool, exciting way. And
Like, for like, I think it might be the greatest superhero reinvention ever, which is really saying a lot. Like, of all the little, like, new takes on alternate universe superheroes, it just, you can't be beat on Absolute Batman. It's such a good take.
yeah, it's so awesome. And just also just some that was one of our first like new things that we read. And that's
Yes, it is the most recent of all the books we read. It is the most recently published of all the 23 books.
yeah, which is super exciting then to see that it's not just that comics are great historically, but that there's current stuff coming out that's super awesome and can really be engaging. And it's also the to have a Batman thing come out and you don't need to know a lot about Batman. It's you don't need a terms of reference. You get more out of it if you do, but it's just like the writing's great, the action is unreal, and
Oh yeah.
it's just great. It's the big dumb action movie of graphic novels. And that's why I put Absolute Batman at my number four. It's just too much fun
Okay.
to have in my
Maybe we'll
top
also have
five.
to do the second Absolute Batman, because the second arc of Absolute Batman is also amazing.
There you go. Maybe
It's
that'll
just,
become
just
our.
it's just finished in comic book form, and like, oh man, like, do you know who the villain of the second arc is?
No, so don't say anything.
No, no,
Wait, no, I do know his Bane. You
it's
told me
Bane.
this.
Yes, it's Bane, and the great part about it is, like, typically Bane always so much bigger, and like he towers over Batman, and you know this Batman, so how are we supposed to, um like, what do we do now? Even though, because this Batman's like as big as a human being naturally does, it's like, no, no, we'll just Bane will still just tower over him.
Yeah, he'll still just be absolutely gargantuan. Why not?
Yeah, now he's basically a kaiju.
Yeah, I love that. And so, where was Absolute Batman for you? Where did that end up?
It was number seven. Yeah,
Okay.
just
Wow.
yeah,
So we have a lot of these still within sort of the same. I feel really good about my top 10, and it sounds like we do have a lot of overlap in that.
yeah,
So moving into our top three now. Number three
yes.
for you.
So number three, the one I thought would be the biggest difference in quality, because I thought this was gonna. I thought there was a legitimate possibility this was gonna be your number 23, Uzumaki.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why? I'm not surprised that you have Uzumaki high.
yeah, because I think I've said mentioned this at some point when we were talking about it in the earlier episode. I thought it was the greatest piece of horror media, like the single scariest piece of horror media ever made. My opinion has not changed. Like in
Hmm.
terms of horror, you can't beat it. It's amazing. It's yeah.
Yeah. I had Uzumaki as my number eight.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're willing
I
to acknowledge its quality despite your
yeah, so this was even though I said it's what do we like the most, I I liked it even though no, I liked it. Like did it absolutely traumatized me, and now every time I see a snail, I'm reminded of that book. 100%. We're in our rainy season. No joke. Last week I saw a snail and I was like, not again. But
I
no,
guess
it's like you said, it's undeniable. It's exceptionally creepy and horrifying and memorable. I think again is a big thing for me. I remember a lot of Uzumaki,
yeah.
even though it was so long. I mean, that's part of it. It's 500 pages or whatever, but
So it was
boy,
I think it was our longest thing we read. Don't know if that off the
yeah,
like don't have the
I
numbers
think
in front
so.
of me, but it feels like it was the longest book we read.
There's parts of that where I'm like, this feels so long. Make it stop. But okay, I'm not surprised that was in your top five, as I was sure it was going to be, and as it deserves to be.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, my number three. Maybe again, potentially recency bias, but I don't think so. I was really trying to sit on this one. Isak. I
Okay.
loved Isak
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. So that was my number 8. So just outside
There you
of
go.
the
Also in the
honorable
top
mentions.
tens. Yeah, it's just when thinking about what we read, it felt the most epic. It felt
Mm,
even not longest by any means, but I would say it felt the biggest in terms of just the story that it was telling and
yeah.
the world that it was referring to. And
Yeah, well, it's a historical epic, like in a story in comic book form. It's like watching Braveheart or Gladiator in comic book form.
yeah, it was Isak is just exactly that. It's a historical epic that has some of the most breathtaking visual imagery of anything we read. Some of those panels I still think about, not even like what was happening, just like the panel. There's one that's so random that I just think about sometimes of them on the horses in front of the lake by the woods. And it was just so beautiful that I just like sometimes think about it. As well as just the image of him drowning the night and the bubbles
Oh yeah, that part's
with like
so
the
good.
invert. Like I think that it can be easy to, I think that we do a really good job whenever we talk about these long comics about talking about the art because that's an integral part of the medium. Um, and man, Isak just absolutely knocks it out of the park. It's so wonderful, and it's one that I mentioned when we did it before, but we're mentioning things that we want to go back to, and yeah, Isak is one for me that I for sure want to keep reading and go back and potentially read the first one again as well. Man, we're starting to create a laundry list. I feel like I need to start writing this down. Absolute Batman, Isak,
I'll
Dragon
remember it.
Ball.
Don't worry.
There you go. But now we're getting near the top. So this is pretty exciting. Uh, because I'm curious now. Spence,
So
number
number
two.
2, the one you mentioned before, my number 2 is Superman Red Sun.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about Superman Red Sun.
Yeah, so it's I think often a lot of the stuff we said about Absolute Batman, I think does apply to this one as well. It's a very well done reinterpretation of characters. And I think the big thing that puts it a little above Absolute Batman for me is how well it like how self-contained it is.
Hmm.
And often I think how Lex Luthor beats Superman is I think my favorite like final blow in comic book history.
Mm.
With the like he beats him with a single sentence is all it takes for Lex Luthor to beat Superman. Of like why not put the whole world in the bottle, Superman? I think that's a perfect little like bow of like the whole theme of the story just in one single little yeah, one little one little sentence to just summarize everything.
Yeah, encapsulate the entire book, a lot of the themes around Superman himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman Red Sun is for sure. I mean, that's why it was my honorable mention. It's right there at the top. What a great story. Um, yeah, and especially with Superman, who normally is not, I mean, not the most interesting character. We read All-Star Superman,
Yeah.
but Superman Red Sun.
Where did you put All Star Superman? Because I had it at 16, which is like lower than it
Oh,
probably deserves, but
I mean, I
yeah,
had it at 19, so.
yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah, again, memorability. And for me, a big thing that would impact some of these is uh, needing to have other content to fully understand what was happening. And All-Star Superman runs into that a lot.
Yes, probably the worst of all of our things we've
Yeah,
covered. That yeah, maybe actually no. God loves man kills. You can kind of get away with.
yeah. So I'm starting to think my number two might be your number one
Okay.
because at number two, I do have Batman Year One.
Yeah, that is my number one. Yes.
Okay. So that is unsurprising to me. I mean, what a testament to how exceptional Batman Year One is for me to
Yeah.
have it at two and for you to have it at one.
Yeah.
Um, so who wants to sort of take it away with
Well, you
Batman Year
go.
One?
It's yeah.
No, but because it's your number one, so I'll have the
Okay.
space for my number one. So you
Yeah.
you say what you want. Why did you put Batman Year One as the best long comic that we read this year?
Because it's like it's a classic that deserves every single like accolade of just like let's take a classic character and let's show you like make a story that truly stands on its own, but also like inspires so much. It's just such a great multifaceted comic book. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways that I would approach it is because for sure I was considering putting this as my number one. And I'll explain why I have something else as my number one, which you know what it is, but I don't know what
Yeah.
the if the listeners know. But uh Batman Year One, there's a couple of things. So first, my grandfather-in-law is in his 90s. He was interested in the podcast, wanted to read something. And I was able to give him Batman Year One, and he had never read a graphic novel. Well, he had read Persepolis because we had given it to him a couple of years ago, but he read Batman Year One, and we had a great conversation about it, and he really enjoyed it. And
Wow.
to be able to give someone with like no comic knowledge
Yeah.
a Batman like graphic novel, and they can enjoy it at the
Yes.
ages
Yes. A
92.
92-year-old former bishop.
Yeah. What a testament to the incredibleness of this story. It is, I would probably say it's the perfect graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's it's flawless in its art style, in the themes that it plays on. The characters are so good. It's not just Batman, it's Jim Gordon and it's Selena Kyle and
But
it's
yes, the Falcone crime family and they all.
yeah. I would say if anyone was like, I'm interested in a graphic novel, what's the best one? I would say Batman Year One without hesitation
Yeah.
because it's so accessible and it's so good. I would recommend it to anyone as long as they're old enough. I mean, even there's some violence and mature themes in there, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Like a 10-year-old could probably handle it. Like might be a little it's that thing of like probably a little too old for them, but that would just make it
Yeah, some
enjoyable.
things would for sure go over their head. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that Batman Year One and also just like the cultural impact of it, like you said.
Yes.
Um, Batman Year One, absolutely agree. What a great graphic novel to have as your number one long comic of 2025. But you know what's coming on my side
Yes,
of
I do.
things.
What's
So
what's your number one, Shane?
Spence mentioned this, but so my number one for 2025, Witch Hat Atelier.
Yeah.
And so for anyone who's been listening along to the Long Comic Book Club, might know that I have become obsessed with this series. Um, and
Yes.
it's
I
so
gifted him his family has been gifted the rest of the series
The
over the
rest of the
course
run.
of.
Yeah. So I've read up to a lot of these I haven't we're talking about. Maybe I'll try out the second one. Which Hat I'm currently on volume 9. And my wife has read all the way up to 13. Um, my daughter I think is on number 3 that we're reading through with her. But
Yeah.
man, how do I this is when I was saying before about other content, I was honestly debating should I create a video essay talking about why Witch Hat Atelier is just like a master class in storytelling. And I might. We'll see if I like have time and capacity and want to do that. But to explain why I'm so obsessed with Witch Hat Atelier to some degree. So the first thing to know is that it is starting to pick up notoriety in the West. It's winning awards left and
Yes.
right. It's
So
already hugely popular in Japan.
yeah, and the big one is it was supposed to have an anime adaptation this year, but that got moved back until sometime like 2026. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So once that drops, maybe it'll become. I could see this if people realize what this is. I could see this being absolutely massive in the
yeah,
West.
I could see it following a similar trajectory to Freerun because before the
Hmm.
Freerun anime came out, this was very it like the where the graphic novel is or the where the manga is in like the general thought like the thought sphere of the West is very close to what Freerun was at before it got
Hmm.
anime, and now it's like even
Interesting.
huger.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be curious to read for him, but I think what Witch Hat Atelier even has on that is that it is so accessible. It is a children's story, but it's one of those ones that hits so much higher than just being a children's story. And also, as you move through the volumes, it starts to grow up as
Yeah.
well. It's just that the story that it's trying to tell is so big. It's creating this whole world, it's creating this whole magical system. The characters are so they have their own clear motivation. And so it's not just they're there because events are happening to them, but they all have a really clear goal. And that goal informs the decisions that they make and also the way they have their relationships and reactions to different events. And that's so difficult to try and manage because I would say there's essentially 5 to 7 of them that are primary characters, and that each of them are memorable and have their own thing going on is not an easy thing to narratively balance, especially for a children's book.
Yeah.
And so, see them doing that, to see the way they start to handle complex themes, uh, even just, I was thinking about that there's a weird philosophy that they're navigating where the magic is so powerful that the good group regulates it so that it's not used for evil. But the evil group is the evil group, again, I'm putting air quotes, uh, is saying magic needs to be accessible to everyone because using magic, you could essentially give people immortality.
Yes.
So it's,
But it's
oh,
yeah, it's a separate look because often very common in stories like this to be about like the everyone should have the power of whatever.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
goes against that.
And so
Goes
it's
against that
it's
grain.
very, very interesting. And I mean, I'm also clearly art's something that's really influential for me and has a big role in what I really enjoy. The art in the only thing that we read that has better art than this, in my opinion, was Isak. I think for me it
I would
goes
argue Uzumaki might have the best art, but
that's
that's not
extremely
a
dark.
yeah, and that's like those are two very different.
Yeah, and it also depends like but what cause I mean I know there's so many different art styles as well, but I
Yeah,
guess the art style that appeals the most to me,
yeah,
uh
that's fair. That's fair.
because I'm looking for like those hyper detail is what I really love. Because yeah, Batman Year One also has great art,
Yes.
but yeah, it's just so hyper detailed as well. So the art's wonderful in this one as well. But yeah, I love Witch Hat Atelier. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. If you haven't read the first volume yet, I would absolutely encourage you to go check it out. Get on the hype train before everyone else realizes and be part of the cohort that says, I liked it. I liked the manga before it got popular.
It's a power. It's a great feeling to be able to say. I'll admit.
Yeah, it's a powerful position to hold. But where did you put Witch Hat? I need to check in with that for you as
So
well.
that was my number 6. So
Okay.
yeah,
There you go. right
So,
on
so
the
that's again
cusp
the
you're
interesting
mentioning.
thing. My 6, 7, and 8 were all on your list.
Yeah, my 6, 7, 8 were also all on your list.
Oh, so
Wow.
what's your because my number 9 is X-Men God Loves Man Kills.
There you go. That's my number 10. My number 9 is Hawkeye.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
There you
Yep,
go. That's pretty.
that's my 13.
Yeah, the middle area gets a little fuzzy, but
Yeah.
if you want to check out what our full lists are, yeah, jump out to Instagram. That's where we'll put the full list. But to run it down again, top five for me on my side of things was number five, Goodbye Eri, four, Absolute Batman, three, Isak, two, Batman Year One, and number one being Witch Hat Atelier.
Yeah. And my number five, Welcome Back Frank. Number 4, Dragon Ball. Number 3, Uzumaki. Number 2, Superman Red Sun. And number 1, Batman Year One. There's also another
Wow.
interesting thing I noticed about that. You had 3 mangas and 2 graphic novels. I had 3 graphic novels and 2 mangas.
There you go. That's great. Works out to five and five.
Yeah, but
Perfect little balance.
yeah, but it's a lit, yeah, very balanced.
Yeah, as all things should be. Yeah, what was that from? Perfectly balanced as all things
For that's
should be.
from that is from Infinity War.
Yikes. Hey,
Avengers.
it's comics. Wow.
Yeah.
That's there you go. That's pretty funny. Hey, there you go. We haven't been too much into the Marvel universe. Maybe that's another year or two goal.
No, we did. It's a good point when we looked over everything. We did a whole lot more DC than we did Marvel.
Yeah, we did Welcome Back Frank as well as uh
Hawkeye and
Hawkeye.
X-Men God Loves Man Kills. I think that was
There you
what
go.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Well,
we did a bunch of like Vertigo and stuff, so it wasn't like 3 and 9. But,
yeah, exactly. But man, what a fun year. What a fun thing to do to have a year in review and a rank at the end there. But again, that everything that I read I enjoyed. And same goes for you, I know as
yeah.
well, that it's great to be able to engage with this kind of content and then to be able to talk about it. Like that's something that I don't know if I had really done previously is actually like talk about the graphic novels and stuff that I had read before. But to be able to have the space to talk about it and share thoughts, super fun, super cool to be able to really get into it and talk more about the content that we're consuming as well. And thanks so much for listening along and being a part of this journey so far. Because we're coming up to the end here, and we actually don't need to introduce the long comic for the next book
Yeah.
club
It
episode
was
because,
we'll why not mention it again though. It is The Hedge Knight by George R. R. Martin.
yeah, the friendly reminder that it is
Yeah.
the Hedge Knight, and that'll be coming out next week, January 3rd. And
Back to
it'll
back to
be in
back.
2026 in advance of the release of the television show.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure make sure to put a Night of the Seven Kingdoms for that one somewhere in the title. Get that search engine optimization.
Try and shove that into the title somewhere. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But thanks so much again for joining us for 2025 for the first year of the Long Comics Book Club. And thanks to everyone who's gone by Vesperia Manga and Comics and seen Spence in person. And uh, thanks so much for listening. And thank you, Spence,
Yeah.
for joining me to do this. It's
Thanks for
been,
convincing me to do this and doing all the hard work behind the scenes to make it happen.
it is not hard work at all. If you enjoy the work, you'll never work life in your life. That's what they say.
Yeah. But then I've also loved the counterpoint to that. But but I love my job, and trust me, I've worked some days.
That's, that's too true. All right. Well, have a wonderful end to your 2025. Have a wonderful start to your 2026. And we'll see you on January 3rd for the Hedge Night. This is Long Comics Book Club signing off for the year.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.